Parshas Shofetim, we read about the Egla Arufa, the special sacrifice brought by the town leaders when a murder victim is found close to their city. After slaughtering the Egel, the heifer, the leaders wash their hands and declare their innocence. Chazal explained that they're calling on Hashem as a witness that they have protected their roads, kept them in good condition, provided clear signage and protection so that people don't get lost or hurt. And therefore they're saying, we did not spill this murder victim's blood. We had nothing to do with this. Yet, the Torah tells us that after making this declaration, the Kohanim come and ask Hashem for kapara, for atonement on behalf of the town and its leaders. But if they are innocent, why do they need atonement? You know, guilt is an interesting emotion, and it is not necessarily logical. It is not uncommon for the survivor of a traumatic event like a terror attack or a plane crash where others were killed to feel guilty for surviving, despite the fact that clearly they're completely innocent. And some people who have not experienced any traumatic events at all, they just feel guilty for many things that they do, even though none of those things are actually wrong or immoral or unethical. An extreme example of this was a Talmud of mine who felt guilty every time he said no to a shidduch, even when the shidduch was clearly not for him. So why do these people feel guilty? One reason may be that the guilt serves as a defense mechanism against fully experiencing being sad and feeling helpless. Guilt doesn't feel very good, but for some people in some situations, it feels better than being sad, or it feels better than complete helplessness. It is easier for the plane crash survivor to feel guilty than to fully experience the sadness and helplessness of witnessing so much tragedy and loss of life without being able to do anything about it. It was easier for my Talmud to feel guilty about saying no to a shidduch. That way he could avoid feeling sad and helpless about being single. The Rambam in the Moreh teaches the utility of Egla Arufa as a vehicle for publicizing the murder, which will hopefully generate evidence leading to a conviction and justice for the victim. Fake, undeserved guilt is not very likely to inspire a true search for justice. So perhaps the Kohanim asking Hashem for kapara also serves the purpose of justice by not allowing undeserving guilt to get in the way of fully experiencing the sadness and helplessness of the situation, feelings which might very well galvanize the people towards redoubling their efforts to find and convict the murderers. And the lesson for us, of course, is when we feel guilty, we need to look inside and figure out, is it justified guilt? Is it real guilt? In that case, we may need to make amends. We may need to apologize. We may need to do something to make it right. If it's not real guilt, we have to figure out, what is it covering up? Have a great Shabbos.